another 8 more years that we have from what I'm sensing in my spirit. And I just want to read this prophecy to you right now that you're going to find very interesting. And this was written in 1996. It's in my book, 10 Things Americans Wish They Had Known and 7 Things They Have to Know. It says, as the heavenlies grew silent, my ears began to detect the gurgling sounds of the waters of the earth. Then the Lord said, come to the sea of time and begin to wash your face. As I stooped down to peer into the sea of time, I began to see images in the water with tears in their eyes. I beheld the fish of the sea moaning and crying as they grieved over the carelessness of mankind that poisoned their place of habitation in the earth. The Lord said, because of the greed of man, fish will slowly be removed from man's diet because of the illnesses that will judge a society that polluted without regard for life. As I began to walk away, I saw entire areas of commerce come to a sudden end. Men running in circles saying, how did this come about within a day? Then the Lord began to stand in the panicked faces of men and judge entire corporations for the upset and the tilt that they brought to society. God bless you, Harold. How's everything coming along with you?
You tell me. I'm calling you.
Well, I wrote the word cook here, C-O-O-K. Does that word mean anything to you right now?
Yeah, I have a catering business and I'm cooking some grub for Father's Day.
All right, then you're in the right spot. I told you what you needed to hear, and that's the word of the Lord.
Hey, hold it now. I'm getting ready to locate to Atlanta. Now, how's that looking?
The relocation to Atlanta, you can do it, but consider Washington, D.C. as well.
All right, thank you.
Okay, are you happy?
I'm elated.
The consequences of our inaction are now in plain sight. Countries like China are investing in clean energy jobs and industries that should be right here in America. Each day, we send nearly $1 billion of our wealth to foreign countries for their oil. And today, as we look to the Gulf, we see an entire way of life being threatened by a menacing cloud of black crude. We cannot consign our children to this future.
Now, there you have it, Bishop. We see that the people of Great Britain, their paycheck is going to be a little bit short this year, thanks to BP. And the president has said if we don't rally together, that we're going to leave a far worse world to our children than the one that we inherited. Let me get your thoughts about that, Bishop, and then we'll go to the phones.
Well, you know, when we look at a nation, you know, the scripture says a house that is divided cannot stand. And politically, in the 1850s, it was known as a decade of failure in which the nation's leaders was unable to resolve situations, and when things were very divisive during that time with slavery. And I would say that looking at during that area, you know, Uncle Tom Cabin began to be written and it became a very famous novel. But when we begin to look at this, I believe that we need to start now moving many of our people, children of the diaspora, need to start on the social networks. I am for social networks. Their stories need to be told. The world needs to hear our stories. They need to hear our geniuses that are in the community, but they also need to know of a people that have overcome. I think having an African-American president makes a loud statement to the world, but have we overcome as a nation our racial differences? And I hope that we in America do not think that Election Day meant the end of racism, because it is very much alive. When we look at the unemployment rate that's happening among African-American males, and when a male cannot lead in his family, he loses a sense of dignity, self-worth. It creates a very unhealthy social environment and therefore it puts the family at the level of the animal kingdom, where you have females heading up the families, leading the families, and the males are only good for one thing, and that is for the fertilization of the eggs for reproduction. I'm getting two things for you. I'm getting the name Harris, and then I'm getting Marilyn. Those things are going to have meaning to you. Write both of those things down. And one last thing, Linda, be open to some travel, because it looks like there's a trip that you should be taking in the next 45 days.
Okay, and what was the name you said? Harris?
I'm getting something with, I wrote down Harris and I wrote down Maryland.
Oh, Harris. Okay. Okay, because I'm on my way to Maryland now.
Oh, don't be surprised if you run into a Harris. You need to be calling it right now, and the telephone number is 888-263-6532. We're coming to the home stretch, and I don't know what y'all are waiting for. Get on the line, 888-263-6532, and I'm going to write a prophetic word about your life, and visit my website at bishopjordan.com.